Hello, Prison Creative Arts Project community, and congratulations on the opening of the 25th annual exhibition of art by Michigan prisoners. In some ways, I truly thought this day would never come. It has been an absolutely unprecedented year here at PCAP, and I couldn't be more overjoyed to celebrate the opening of this exhibition with you. My name is Nora Kronitsky, and I am the interim director of PCAP. I have the pleasure of working with all of our wonderful PCAP staff and curators, our student members, our volunteers, and of course our community inside. Although we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the show this year, in many ways this has really been a year of firsts for PCAP and for the annual exhibition. It's the first time we've had to postpone the show, which we had to do a year ago because of COVID-19. It's the first time that we cannot all be together in person during the opening reception. And it's also the first time that we have a digital exhibition, a digital annual exhibition of art by Michigan prisoners. In some ways, well, in many ways, I very much wish we were in person in the gallery together right now, but it's also so exciting to be able to celebrate the opening of the digital show, which can be viewed by anyone in the free world, not just anyone who travels to Ann Arbor. So it's very exciting to be able to increase accessibility to the show. It is so exciting to be able to sell artwork remotely, which we've never been able to do before. It's really exciting to have ways for people to engage from where they are. Visitors to the digital show can listen to the audio tour, they can sign the guest book, they can write a critique letter, they can leave comments about an artwork that really moved them, they can vote for the People's Choice Award. We really have just gone above and beyond in thinking about ways to connect with people, even though we can't all be in the gallery together. So I want to, of course, thank so many people for making this exhibition possible. First and foremost is the incomparable Janie Paul. Janie is the founder of the annual exhibition. She is an artist, she is a scholar, she is such an important mentor of mine as I learn about art and about making art in prison. This year, Janie will deliver our keynote address as she talks about the last 25 years of doing the art show. So thank you, Janie, for your incredible leadership and your vision for this show. Of course, all of our PCAP curators are just absolutely integral to making the annual exhibition happen. Graham Hamilton, there's no way we could make this show happen without you. And all of our curators who our artists get to know so well when we're able to visit prison to do our art selection trips. All of our curators have amazing artistic value and artistic vision, just bringing so many great different perspectives to the show, from their own creative practices, their own art practices, their own history, and they all just contribute to a really beautiful community that creates the show. I want to thank our other PCAP staff, who's also have been just incredibly supportive and integral to making the show happen. Mary Heinen McPherson, who supports all of our volunteers, our facilitators, all of our student staff. Fernanda Perez, who writes our stories and our media coverage that helps the world learn more about PCAP. And of course, Vanessa Mayeski, who keeps all the trains running on time. She really makes PCAP work. And in particular, Vanessa has just lifted heaven and earth this year to devise a way for viewers of the show to be able to purchase works of art remotely. And I can't thank her enough for doing that. It was so important to me to be able to offer an option for people to buy art remotely, both because, you know, it's such an important way that people connect with people who are artists who are incarcerated, and because it's so important for our artists to really get the value that they deserve for the beautiful art that they send into the world. So thank you, Vanessa. And last but far from least, I really want to extend just a depth of gratitude to our artists inside, those of you who are featured in the 25th annual exhibition. This is the largest exhibition that PCAP has ever curated. There are 828 works of art in this show, which is just an absolutely incredible testament to the artistic vision, creativity, productivity that is living behind the walls, that is living in prison. It's been so enlightening and exciting and inspiring to see these images, to work with the show, to work on putting together the digital exhibition, and really be moved by the incredible breadth and depth of your artistic abilities, creativity. I also just have to thank our artists for their utmost patience and understanding as we were forced to postpone this show by a year. It was really a heartbreaking decision at the time, but the right decision. And our, artists, you have been unfailingly understanding about that. And I thank you from the depth of my heart, because it meant so much to hear from you all that despite the disappointment that you must have been feeling, that you understood the decisions we were making. But the disappointment now is in the past, because tonight we are celebrating the opening of the annual exhibition. So for those of you in the free world, please, please, please enjoy seeing the art in the digital galleries, listening to the audio tour, leaving comments, purchasing art if you would like. And please tell people you know about the digital exhibition. This year, the barriers to access are gone. You don't have to travel to Ann Arbor to see the show. Like I said, first ever for PCAP. And I can't wait to see how many people near and far are able to enjoy the annual exhibition, learn something, be challenged by something they see, be inspired to create a piece of art, talk to a friend about a piece of art that they saw, get a new idea, gain a new perspective. The possibilities are just endless. So thank you again to our PCAP curators, to our staff. Thank you to the staff of the Michigan Department of Corrections, particularly Kyle Kaminsky, who gives us so much support and really makes it possible for PCAP to operate inside prison. But again, thank you foremost to our artists who really make the show possible, make it exciting, make it new every single year, and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Janie Paul. I'm one of the co-founders of the annual exhibitions of art by Michigan prisoners and the senior curator. And I want to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. To those of you who are here for the first time, for those of you who have been to many of our exhibits, to the artists and to their families. This is a wonderful event, and we look forward to having you here with us at some of our events. So I've been doing this work for a very long time. In 1996, Buzz Alexander and I decided to organize an exhibit of art by incarcerated people in Michigan. And that first year, we didn't know it was going to be just the first year. We thought it was the exhibit. We didn't know it was going to become an annual exhibit. But it was so moving. And we were so astounded when we saw the work when we went inside and heard the artist stories. And the show was such a success that it became an annual event. So I've been doing this for 26 years and have devoted a lot of my life to this project. So why is that? It's hard work, and I see a lot of suffering, but I see a lot of joy and amazing work and amazing people. I've had the privilege of walking with these artists on a journey that takes them deeply inside themselves to discover those parts of themselves that are productive, that are beautiful, that are expressive. And as I've walked this journey with them, I've been able to do that for myself as an artist and as a human being. I am a visual artist, I'm a painter, and a lot of the work that we see inside is drawing and painting. So I'm able to connect with artists on a very basic level, talking about the work, how we do the work and the materials, and I am constantly inspired by the ingenuity that people use to come up with their art in a place where there are very few outer resources. So they increase their inner resources. They become incredibly inventive and feel more and more powerful in the ability to express who they really are. So that's helped me do the same thing in my work. Another thing is that we see such an incredible diversity of work, and you will too, or you have already looking at this work. There's work that's excellent because it's highly skilled. There's work that's excellent because it's not highly skilled, but has a kind of raw, wonderful sense of form by a beginner. There's work that's angry and sad. There's work that's beautiful. There's work that's troubling. There's so many kinds of work that express such a full range of human life, of human emotion, of human states of being, that even though some of us on the outside aren't living in such extreme circumstances, we identify with all of those aspects of the human condition. I feel very privileged to have been working with these artists for so long, because I see that they are surviving and even thriving, living in the loneliness and the solitude and sometimes the desperation of life in prison. And that gives me strength, even though I'm not living in such an extreme situation. But it gives me strength nevertheless. And when I see the artists coming closer to who they really are in their work, it also helps me come closer to who I really am in my work, and it centers and grounds me. I feel privileged to be on this journey with the artists and to see how, despite the duress of prison life and the darkness, they've gone inside and found the light within them to bring through that darkness out into our world.
Hey PCAP family, this is Ashley Lucas. I miss you. We are so sad not to be able to do in-person programming inside the MDOC right now, but we are loving the responses that you're sending to the correspondence workshops. Please keep it up and know that you are in our hearts and prayers every day. This has been such a hard time, and we grieve with you for all of the folks who have passed away and all the folks who've been really ill, both inside the MDOC and in your families in the free world. And we just want you to know that PCAP is still here. We did not go away. We will not go away. We will remain here to offer programming and support and love from outside the walls to those of you inside, and then be ready to partner with you and collaborate with you and make tons of great art with you when you come home as well. As soon as it's safe enough for us to go back, we will be back inside with programming in person again. And in the meantime, we're really proud to be able to publish another edition of the Lit Review and our online art show for the very first time. We miss you. Take good care of yourselves and know that we are still here. Hang in there. Bye now.
Hi, my name is Belinda Sherlock. I was incarcerated at Huron Valley from 2015 to 2020. And before my incarceration, I had a huge appreciation for art. I owned a couple pieces and I was always attracted to it. But during my incarceration, I was not able to attend any art shows because I didn't have that artistic ability to put in a piece of art. So I feel that art is also an expression, it's a memory, it's a shared experience. So I drew from these, and my art piece was an expression of my experience in prison. My experience in prison was I was a prison observation aide, and we were given clipboards where we would have our sheets of paper on there, and we would document what the prisoner was doing. But on the back of these boards, we would doodle, we would have art class. We would draw clowns, roses, sayings, and it was a shared experience. So my admission to the art show in 2019 was a POA board. And really, I don't think it was like the greatest piece there, but I got to attend the art show in prison. And it really made my day, and I saw some awesome things. So keep doing the good work. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Jerry Marlis. I've been involved with PCAP since 2014, 2015, and it's been a very rewarding experience for me. I spent a lot of years in the construction industry and was a very capable draftsman for architectural drawings. So one of the guys when I was at Pugsley saw me drawing some blueprints, and he came over and he says, "You could do pen and ink art with your experience there." And I told him, I said, "I'm not an artist." But he convinced me to do the work. So using him as a mentor, I began to train myself to draw in pen and ink and graphite. And actually I became quite good at it, and went on from there to Newberry, and by the time I got to Newberry I was drawing some pretty good pictures, and so the special acts director there asked me to teach a class in art. So for 3.5 years I taught art at Newberry and ran an art forum the last year I was there, and guys would come in and work, and it was a great influence. During the whole prison experience, I looked forward every year to PCAP coming, especially Graham Hamilton and his support that he gave me. And I look back with great happiness in the amount of drawings I sold at the annual sales, not only to customers that came into the sales, but several people from the university bought my pieces over the years. So that's been really a good thing for me, and it made me feel well about my work, that they would look at it and choose to hang it in their own offices. I continue to draw since I've been out of prison. I've been out for about a year now, almost going on 2 years. And I've been talking to one of the fellows from U of M who's going to put some of my art in an art gallery up in Lansing across from the Broad Museum. So hopefully I'll be there in the next year or so. I continue to draw, and I continue to mentor others. I have a guy in Flint who's on parole, and I've been sending him supplies and mentoring to him, and actually he's improved quite a bit. He hopes to start selling too, so hopefully that'll work out for us.
Hi, I'm Kelly Rose, and I was a former resident of WHV Correctional Facility from 2015 to 2019. And I say resident instead of inmate because inmate holds a very negative view in most people's minds. Even preparing for this video, I had asked many people's opinions on like how I should go about it, what I should do. And they said, Kelly, everything sounds great, everything sounds fine, but leave the part about prison completely out. Don't talk about it. It just looks bad on you. People don't like to hear about those things. It's something you should never talk about. And I stopped and I said to them, I said, do you guys know what PCAP means or what it does? I said, PCAP is Prisoner Creative Arts Program. I said, that's exactly what this program is designed for. This program comes into prisons, and even if it's just for one day out of the year, it gives us the respect to call us by names, to look at our art, dive further into our stories, and then treat us and view us as human beings. It comes into those places to give us hope for the future. I remember before I had started PCAP, drawing was just something that I did in spare time and free time. And it wasn't until my bunkies one day saw me drawing and they said, Kelly, like, this is really good. Like, why don't you do something with it? And I thought, what do you mean it's good? Like, do something with it. How? And they said, you should get joined in the art class here and you should join PCAP. And I was like, what is PCAP? And they had explained it to me. And I remember thinking, there's no way I'm good enough for that. There's no way that I don't even know what I'm doing, And, but I did what they said, with their encouragement. I joined PCAP for my first year. And I remember that first year standing there on the tables they set up in the auditorium, in the gym, and standing there and being so nervous that my stuff wasn't going to be good enough, that there's no way they're going to pick my stuff. And one of the volunteers had came around and they stopped and they looked down at my pieces and looked back up at me, looked down at my pieces and back up, and they said, this is incredible. They were like, I wish I could take it all. Unfortunately, we only have a limit of how much we can take, but just to even get that reaction from them, that was the greatest feeling I had felt probably my entire 2 years that I had been in prison so far. And not only that, but it gave me that much encouragement to keep trying and do something the following year. And I remember when we got our PCAP newsletters stating, whose pieces had sold, and beyond that, whose pieces had won first place. And I didn't even know that they were in a competition like that. And when I saw my name underneath the first place list, I think I about died. Like, that was something more than I could have even expected joining something like this. And that right there unleashed this whole new future for me that I never even thought possible. I then realized how much I actually enjoy artwork, how awesome it is that you can take what you feel, stuff that you can't put into words, and put it on paper, and just seeing how others relate to that and how much they respect that and value it. Here I am inside of prison gates, but that part of me, that creative side, that spirit, that can't be caged. That can't be imprisoned. That's something all my own that I can show people, that I can still express, that I can still be me. And even to this day, now that I'm released, like, I actively am currently still trying to explore my creative side by joining contests and still creating my art and still trying to take it somewhere, because to me, it's so much more than just art. To me, that's a way you can express yourself that others that you think you can't even relate to can also connect with you, a way you can get a message out that can really impact so many lives. I don't think that I would be there today if it wasn't for PCAP coming in and letting us, giving us a spot where we could create an artwork, where we could create this stuff that not only gave us hope, but then it gave us hope for the future. If they weren't there, I think just having people tell me, "Oh, Kelly, your artwork's good, it's great," I think that would have, hit somewhat like, "Oh, that feels good, that's nice." But I don't think that I would have had such a huge impact on my future had I not joined the contest and then won first place. If PCAP never existed, I today wouldn't have this whole hope within myself and confidence, that I could take it somewhere. Like, I now have dreams and goals because of it. Like, my goal is to eventually finish art school and become something with what I learned in there. And I honestly, if it wasn't for PCAP allowing me to explore that side, I wouldn't have those dreams and goals. I wouldn't feel like I have a purpose. And I can't speak for everybody else and their experience with this program, but I know for me, it has done so much more than just make me feel like a number, not a number, sorry. It has done so much more than just make me feel like I was somebody. It has given me a whole future and a whole nother side to life that I never knew possible. And this program's just amazing. And I hope that everybody else has gotten what I have out of it. It takes both sides. It takes the volunteers coming in and doing their part, as well as us doing our part too, and putting all that we can into it to get the best experience we can.
Freedom is not a slogan on the back of a Chevy pickup. It's not a victory on the battlefield, or even the sound of the opening prison doors. Freedom is not a person, it's not a place, it's not a thing, it's not a day. Freedom is just a thought, it's just a choice, just a choice, just a choice you make every day. Freedom is not a slogan, freedom is not on the back of a Chevy pickup. It's not a victory on the battlefield, or even the sound of the opening prison doors. Freedom is not a person, freedom is not a place, it's not a thing, it's not a date. Freedom is just a thought, it's just a choice, just a choice, just a choice. Just a choice, just a choice you make every day. Freedom is not a slogan on the back of a Chevy pickup. It's not a victory on the battlefield, or even the sound of the opening prison doors. Freedom is not a person, it's not a place, it's not a thing, it's not a date. Freedom is just a thought, it's just a choice, just a choice, just a choice you make every day. 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 You make